Zippity. My oh my, what a wonderful week. Yeah, zipper week. Hopefully I didn't cut off on me beforehand. But anyway. Alright. So. What up, Schmoedown Rockers? It's week of zipper. Or, that is Eric Z-Man Zipper. Teams and singles. Teams debut with Paul Oyama, apparently loose cannons. I'm starting to wonder if Kaiser had something to do with the writer's room for this week. More so for the teams match. Because both names, one obviously making sense for, obvious dungeon faction reasons, but the other just feels like something Kaiser would say. I mean, I'm just saying. But whatever. It's the team's debut for two teams. Loose Cannons. The long-awaited, anticipated thing. Match between Paul with Paul Oyama and Eric Zipper as a team, finally. And we finally find out who Video Dude's partner is, as they are the Loony Bin, and all we know is from him is the name that Video Dude refers to him as is Tom the Terror. And Jude has a lot more personality, though Tom Terror, I do love how they're both deadpan. One is more energetic, while the other is just far more, not so much. But it winds up working out in their favor, and I understand a lot of people who are considering putting them as their favorite new team. That's for darn sure. But yeah. Both were actually interesting matches. Mostly Tom and Oyama. Zipper nearly did have a perfect first round. Yet they couldn't get that bonus question, though. I'm not sure I blame them, though. Blood would have blanked myself. So, there's that. The round two, Tom just, even though it was Tom that answered it, Video Drew might have had some say here and there in their conferring, but yeah. The fact that he was able to just like that answer it is still impressive enough as it is. So I definitely watch out for Tom. We'll see what he might be like in singles. I find it funny how many people, even though I didn't even think about it, was thinking it was Tom from MySpace. Anyone who's from that era of social media would know what the heck we're talking about. That's for sure. Or at least I'm talking about. Or whatever. All of our viewers. But whatever. Also, shout out again to Smets. Speaking of dungeon. On the Action Army as well. Especially during the recent live stream yesterday. Well, Smets was on. Apparently, I didn't even know the way the shout out had to go. Yeah. Not entirely proud of that. And he's not going to let go of the shirt thing. Well. Come on, man. Seriously? But anyway. I definitely lemon out. Loony Bin was crazy. Especially the way they entered the way things went when they... It just seemed like the way things were going, especially given that it was like by 1 point Loose Cannons was winning, but it seemed because the wheel wasn't entirely in their favor. They wound up with Clint Eastwood. You'd think certain classics from Clint Eastwood would come to mind at least with Oyama, but it seems that isn't as much the case. But they were able to do well enough to at least keep them from being in knockout, from getting into knockout territory. And then the moments that could have been stolen, it's clear that Clint Eastwood is neither Video Drew nor Tom's strengths for the Loony Bin, so worked out in their favor with that. That's somewhat in their favor to still at least, even though they had to, I think the three-pointer was kind of, I don't know, I think they got all of them, but it's possible that they did miss the three-pointer. But they were able to get the five-pointer, which is what they needed to at least push it over to... I think they got both, and it forced Loony Bin to answer their 2, forcing Loose Cannon to answer their 5, which in some way wound up leading to Loony Bin having to answer either one of their questions. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get either of them with the questions that they were dealt. Unfortunately, they also didn't realize they needed to use their repeats, which was lucky for Loose Cannons when it came to that win. But it was a good match regardless. Be proud of the faction you've got. And then we've wind up getting a singles debut. And it was kind of hinted at in the IG match that Zipper didn't do so well against Slavic. And that was, of course, Zipper versus Foutch. For his former partner from Anarchy in the Crazy 80 Greats, it's Haley Foutch, who's also and the better half of Scream Queens. And it was actually surprisingly one of those other good matches. Most people would sleep on it because it's Zipper. Don't, guys. This was a good This was a good week, and don't worry for some of you who don't have Patreon. You've got time. Use that as a prep up for this coming week, which is done to be even more exciting. Between the live event itself being live streamed and, we get a long anticipated matchup between follow-up rematch between Corruption and Founding Fathers, since the round 2 match, which was controversially ended the way that it did, and it's going to be for a number 1 contendership to go up against the Shire Wolves. So it would seem to be the case, or at least it seems that's going to be the case. I don't know when that match is going to happen. I'm guessing it's before a live event. But other than that, I think it's going to wind up, for the most part, being whoever doesn't, I guess. Hopefully we'll get in the tournament for teams, for Ultimate Showdown. And then, of course, we have the big dog from the fan leagues versus the so-called goat, one of the many considered goats of the fan leagues in Paulo Yama versus the goat of the Schmoedown himself, Dangerous Dan Merle. That's going to be interesting for next week. Though, of course, I'm skipping out. Back to what we got out of the Foutch versus Zipper match. I liked Zipper coming out the way he did. I think we got also to... there wasn't really too much to the promos. It was an interesting, nice little promo to keep for the dungeon-ish promo for building up into the teams match. And then we got a promo that basically gave us what we were kind of expecting from within the past couple weeks of promos involving the critically acclaimed breakup. We kind of figured, some of us did, and eventually by the time things unfolded, we started to see it coming. Basically, Bibbs asks Brandon the Kid Meyer to be his teammate. So we basically have Team Free-for-All, I guess is what we're going to refer to them for now as. Unless they come up with a better team name, I don't know. But that's about it with that. With those promos. And back again, I'm dissecting. Back to Zipper's little... Back to what we're talking about with our Zipper week. That was a really solid match. Both were neck and neck up until the final question in round 1. So Foutch was able to get her perfect round. Once again, like, that's another thing. Zipper both matches this week couldn't quite get that perfect round, but some's also close. It wound up working seemingly more in favor when it came to the teams match. Maybe not so much here, though it seems that I feel like he's technically more the underdog. I wouldn't disavow what we got out of... I was definitely not... Don't think anyone was going to underestimate Foutch. Not even he was underestimating Foutch. So... And it's just nice to see... and I think round 2... I'm trying to remember the categories. That's where I'm starting to blank on, but... Oh yeah, speaking of categories that most people have never talked much about, apparently, between Tom and at least, and maybe if not Video Drew, apparently they know that Modern Classics is now considered a strength. That's something that has barely been touched on the wheel, so maybe that was a part of it too. And too with that whole match, but with this one with Foutch, I really did. It was interesting where it was definitely quite neck and neck. Foutch still had a little bit more of the upper hand in it. The thing is, it mostly came down to the round 3. Sorry, I'm in a little itchy. Got a little dang chiggers. Anyway, I wish I could. I'm blanking on categories. We're just gonna skip that part. Forget it. 2 blocks away. So, but on to round 3. I think it was missing the first pointer. I believe both were able to get their 2 pointers. Zipper was not able to get his 3, but was able to get his 5. Foutch was able to get her 3, but was unable to get the 5. And somehow the score was 20-20. We go to sudden death. And we get a Brothers Grimsby question that winds up having to apparently work more so in Zipper's favor. On who was basically the one other brother, I guess, in Grimsby. And Mark Strawn was the answer to that. It was nice to see Zipper get the win he needed this. Both between the team's debut and his singles, Zipper needed these wins. In fact, thanks to these, if you haven't already been up to administrator from moderator, you're going to, at some point, probably around the time frame I upload this. So, unless Smets or them have finally done so, and Kaiser finally decided to do something about it, we shall see. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. You're moving yourself up in the world, Zipper. Also, I did love the entrance. I always love the choice of entrance music. I did like the additional chamber music added on top of it. Added as a little something else when you came to your entrance and outro during the match. But also your post-interview, getting the guy to basically play, I believe, something for music. I know it's Zelda, and it's on Ocarina of Time, but not the time song. It's the I think it's Sarah's song, if I'm not mistaken. That was fun. And I probably need to check his stuff out on Bandcamp, maybe. We'll see. We shall see. But other than that, overall, it was a fun match. It was a fun match. And all around, at least. And yeah, surprisingly no post show promos or anything, but well, aside from what he's not, well, besides what Harless always has been starting to do lately. Within the past couple weeks, he's starting to do what they used to do with the promos that they used to have. And it was smart of him to at least try to do it to where, at least with those promos, he's smart and tries to talk about the match and then about one and then do another and put him on the ends instead. It's probably better. Didn't really need to have those, but I understand that the need to get more people involved in watching Collider Live as well as Jedi Council for a little shameless self-promotion. But anyway, that's about all I could say for now. What did you guys think of Zipper Week? Comment below, let me know. Rock the like button on this video if you like this, with thrust if you must. And link in the description below. Also click the notification bell. I'm not sure if any of you do that enough. Also, slight little notice, maybe I'll just say it here, but I doubt anyone's going to do it, so I might do a slightly separate short video on it. For music lovers out there, and my other random rockers, you know, I'm sorry I haven't been posting much on the music front lately. It's not that I haven't been trying to listen, it's just figuring in getting the albums themselves, or just being able to have the necessary stuff with me in terms of notes and whatnot, just to be able to do it right. I'm having a feeling I should do sort of something along the lines of a Why You Know, or a FIMI, or a listening log aside thing for those in the music, with the music. That's what I'm going to do, which I'm going to try to probably do something of that nature. It might, depending on the albums, I might do a separate review. We'll see how that goes, but want to try to find a way to play catch up without having to cram so many videos in at once. But yeah, unless they're definitely worthy albums to talk about, in some shape or form. So other than that, that's about as much on the update side of things for the channel itself. Also, hopefully you'll like the evolution of the face icon thing that from special shout out, I guess, to Blake Borick for doing the artwork she's been doing the past few weeks for me on those. Yet to put some color to it, but you know, we're still figuring things out with the labels and everything, so I've just kind of shown you some of what is the evolution of those. So who knows, maybe I might actually get a cover thing for the Facebook page. We'll see what happens. We'll between that and the Facebook page. I might start putting that on the Facebook page too. I may decide to make it to where, since I've been doing more Schmoedown Rocks lately, I might have that as my main, but I don't want people who are music fans, yet alone the movie fans, to deter. I'll still do reviews on those. So we'll see what happens. I might still stick with the random rock and reel thing, even though I know people are having a hard time saying it. I understand it's a tongue twister, but we'll see. But anyways, like I said, hit notification bell, rock the like button, thrust if you must. Link should be in the description below for Facebook page. You can probably also find me under my real name or under Random Rock and Riffs and Reviews in the spoiler and the main Schmoedown pages, as well as in the dungeon, in the trivia dungeon, the official Kevin Smets page that I'm also wanting to add the term the Kaiser Crew hashtag, just to make sure it's all dungeon. Even though Oyama Polyama has his own page, you can go to that too. And many other pages. You may actually find me in the corruption page. Maybe not as much as dungeon. I know where my loyalties lie. Especially after that one kid. Like I said, with that... But anyways, as always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. If you smell what the movie trivia Schmoedown rocks, and every Schmoedown fan all over the world is cooking.